Always remember, less is less, more is more. More is better, and twice as much is good too. Not enough is bad, and too much is never enough, except when it's just about right. Hello everyone and welcome to the Comics Corner. I am Mike, here with Johnny.
I wish you guys heard my hip pop like 5 seconds before we went live.
It was loud.
We had to actually hold off on going live an extra 12 seconds because I needed to continue stretching the left side of my hip.
I thought that Johnny was injured.
He thought, I don't know, I thought he thought I was faking it. And then I set the leg down and I popped it and he was like, whoa, and I was like, yeah. Can you imagine if I had to sit through that? And that was basically literally exactly what happened before we went on air. Like, verbatim.
There we go, a little behind the scenes. In front of the scenes here, we are discussing...
I wanted to say in front of the scenes. I'm glad you said it.
The Tick.
Yeah.
Came out in 1988, written and drawn by Ben Edlund.
Wait, I can't believe I just made a connection of two things we were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Tick by Ben Edlund. We have a bag over here with Gotham on it, and I was just talking to Mike about Gotham like 5 minutes ago. Ben Edlund wrote, I think, the 8th episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was looking at his writing and credits for like different TV shows. I think he was on like Firefly, a couple of just like weird one-offs. But yeah, very prolific writer.
Kind of a weird last name. It's a little hard to say. Edlund. I guess I did it just fine. But I've been practicing all day.
Exactly. Yeah. From
Edlund.
And all week from reading
it. I wasn't reading his name all week. I was reading dialogue within the pages of his book.
His credits were there. You saw it periodically. But as it says here, these are the original 12 issues. We actually get 13 issues, and then we get like the
bonus.
Yeah, the bonus stuff of the creation of the Tick. Like we see like the very early. It's in like the New England comics magazine. Like just some one-offs of that, and then some follow-up one-shots later on in his career.
Kind of like the Tracy Ullman shorts for The Simpsons before it became a full-fledged 30-minute sitcom.
Exactly. Yeah. You get kind of like the creation of the Tick, which is actually pretty neat. But yeah, Johnny, what did you think of Ben Edlund and the Tick? We're gonna get a nice written review here.
I'm just wondering what's up with everybody.
Chat peeps. I don't know. It's still early on. We started a little bit later, so you might be. But what's up, Skylar?
Hey.
Speak of the devil.
Hey, yeah, we were literally just saying where the hell's Skylar, like verbatim before you went on. Exactly. No, that's a lie.
Oh, Dave.
Wow.
Long time no see, Dave. Oh, man. And there's Charlie.
Wild.
You just typed it in, and they appear.
Ask and ye shall receive.
What's up, Dave? Long time no see.
Oh, I hope you're enjoying all the books I put away for you every week. You have a good stack every time. I like it. I enjoy doing yours.
And Charlie, if ever you see that it's 8 and we're not on, chances are, like we just talked about, Johnny is busy stretching his hips before we go on. So.
I was stretching my hips, dog.
Also, sometimes.
But they really popped, so it was needed. Trust me, Mike.
It was needed. That pop was insane. I'm surprised. It's a shame we weren't on. But also, part of the thing is sometimes we're on late too because there's still customers in the store and like Royce is closing up and we're getting the front. But
Gotta change the garbage.
Made it now.
Thank you. I am way too young looking for a Tracy Ullman reference. Thank you for saying it. Dude, dog, look at this. This is from the first episode of The Simpsons, man. I think I'm on a different camera. Hold on. Sorry. The moth tattoo, dog. Bart Simpson. First episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I went with it. First episode.
Yeah, good. Charlie, that is the hope of Pastimes After Hours. Skylar, did you message comics@pastimes.net? I don't know if I saw one there, if you did, or if it was on.
What'd you message us about?
Yeah, just let
tell everybody in the group, unless you don't want to. In which case, don't. Dude, we both look very young today. It's almost as if one of us shaved right before we went on stream.
There's no way of telling.
There's no way of telling which one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
My sideburns are missing though, so if that's a clue.
Speaking of the Tick, Johnny, what did you think of the Tick? So this is as we usually discuss. This was not your first foray into the Tick.
It was my first time reading the whole thing.
Okay.
It was not my first time reading it, nor was it my first interaction with him because of the television, the animated series, which anybody in my general age vicinity.
Which I am in.
Right. Well, I mean, if I'm old enough to watch those, maybe I'm not as young as I look. That's what I'm worried about. But people in my general age vicinity who grew up with that cartoon, I mean, at least got references. I can't remember specifically if certain episodes were taken right out. You guys are like 9 years apart.
Yeah, you gotta guess which one it's which.
I know. Not in maturity.
Yeah,
There's a much wider gap between us and the rest of civilization. We are children.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the cartoon.
I would give. Oh,
I was gonna say because I had also seen the cartoon, but that was my only exposure to it. I didn't see God, the guy who played Putty from Seinfeld. I forget the actor's name. Yeah, there you go. Perfect impression, spot on. Like I saw some of his live action ones.
That was a good impression of him actually.
Yeah, Skylar, comics at that side of the screen.
Oh, you have a channel?
Comics@pastimes.net. Yeah, if you shoot an email there, Skylar, if you did send it, I'll double check that I got it. But yeah, feel free to message me there, and we can talk probably after the show or later tomorrow. But yeah, we can definitely do because you had mentioned the free comic book day comics and all that stuff. So we've still got plenty. So we'll have you set. But yeah, so I'd seen the cartoon, some of the live action, not the most recent one, but I'd never actually read the Tick comics. This one is new for me.
I keep wanting to say Brad Garrett, but Brad Garrett's Raymond's brother. Raymond.
Hey, Deborah.
Yeah. Well, look at us.
Well, that's
hey.
Raymond. That's Raymond.
Yeah, I know. But we're the brothers. Look at that. Shoot, what's his name? Patrick something? Wait, isn't Patrick his last name? Or is Patrick something?
We're never
Patrick Warburton. Charlie in the chat, plus 5 points. Mike, send him 5 points.
All right.
What are you doing? You're just faking. Send him 5 points, Mike.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. There we go.
Kick the tower.
I give...
Yeah, I'll double check, Skylar.
I give this comic book here. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I know that's ridiculous. Ooh. Here's the thing, though. I think it's funny as hell. Okay. I think it's so funny, and I think that it is such a great... what's the word I want to use? What's the word when you're like...
comic book yeeter.
No.
Bob in the chat, what's up, yeeter?
It's great, satire. It's great commentary on superhero books. Game.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Especially the early ones, because we
dude,
obviously get...
that first issue... I remember literally being in the yoga studio that I worked at, reading my old copy of this book. I remember sitting in the lobby, laughing like a little schoolgirl on the couch in Park Ridge.
Well, in Warrior One pose.
Yeah, stretching my hips. See, I always stretch my hips with the Tick, dog. It's like it just goes together like lamb and tuna fish. So, I remember doing that and like laughing my ass off by myself with a book, and then I, rereading that issue now, like 3 or 4 years later, and it was still really funny. It was the thing, dog, when he jumps and he hits the flagpole, and it's got the sound effect going for like 3 pages. Yeah. That's so funny. It's stupid and subtle, but it's hilarious.
So I don't know if I'd go that hard on it. I'd probably go for an 8 out of 10. Maybe?
That's fair.
Maybe.
Well, I also think it nails. That's okay. I think it nails what it tries to be. That's the thing. It's like. Whoa. Plus 5 points for Yeet.
So obviously, humor is very subjective, much like horror. It was a slow start for me, to be honest. Like the earlier stuff, it wasn't doing it for me. So here's the thing: is I'm not a fan of Deadpool at all. A lot of the, I mean, a lot of.
There it is.
That's the scene. That's the scene.
Still wubbing.
So Deadpool stuff, especially the ones that I've read, I haven't read all of it. Like it never really did it for me. Like sometimes like the trying too hard to be funny stuff didn't really, just doesn't work for me. And like it didn't feel like Deadpool levels, but I mean some of the early stuff wasn't as funny. It wasn't aggressively bad. It just wasn't getting me. But then I think around issue 4 or 5 of this one, like it started kind of getting into motion. Whichever one the Red Scare was in, once it started introducing that character and like honestly, once it got a little bit away from the ninja stuff, like I feel like there was a few more just good jokes exposed. I mean, no, there's still good stuff with the ninja
funny,
things
dude.
too, but. I mean, I was just using that.
Paul the Samurai, that's funny as hell, dog. I don't know. The Electro, oh, dude, my favorite subtle thing is it's a rip on Superman. The first like couple issues was like, but Perry White from Superman. Did you notice the guy's name?
No,
it was on his door. I knew you were gonna miss it. His name was Perry Beige. And I was like, that's so funny. Exactly. You're not even trying to hide the fact that it's like just a total rip.
There's constant good references.
References, not rips. You're right.
But no, just like I said, for whatever reason, after like issue 4 or something, it just started to kind of kick into high gear or be more just funny to me. But yeah, no, it was solid, a good read, and I do not regret it. Johnny, should we get in from the start here? Remember Marlon Brando?
That was funny as hell, man. Yeah, well, are we gonna talk the? I mean, this is that little like comic strip you were talking. Yeah, so I like the art. It's really cool. It looks a little more dark. It looks darker.
Which we get kind of with the brown tick later on in like issue like 9 or whatever. The later ones when we go to New York and there's the other superheroes.
I'm saying some of this stuff in this is literally laugh out loud funny.
Definitely. I liked the way in which he kind of grew in his look. I feel like he was like played a little too dumb in the first early issues, and then like he got a little
brighter.
Exactly. Yeah. Not.
Crayon got a little sharper.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, here we have it. Tick number 1, the Tick in just in a padded cell in a mental institute.
Yeah, basically saying that at this point he's bored there, so he's gonna escape, and he's gonna because he needs to find his destiny. Good question. Hell, join the chat more, David.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, David.
Let's talk.
We've loosely touched upon this because there was a while there where we did like a string of a lot of mangas, which are obviously for the most part black and white. But then we kind of talked about after we did The Walking Dead and just the idea of for the DC line, especially like the DC Noir. So they have like Watchmen, Batman Who Laughs, like Year One, I think, other titles like that. But the noir titles are just the black and white of those, and we were kind of talking about how in a lot of cases that doesn't really do it for us, especially ones that were initially in color, and if they're just making them black and white, I feel like that's kind of a little bit of a cop-out. Like it feels like, to me, and honestly I'm the way with black and white variants too, it feels like they're just trying to like make the most out of like every bit that they have. It's just like, all right, well, we're just going to
book should be cheaper because they're using less on ink.
Exactly, we're just going to resell the same thing but black and white. But then the opposite of with Walking Dead, since that one was initially done in black and white, and now they're doing the Walking Dead Deluxe that comes out in October, which is colorized versions of every issue of Walking Dead. They're starting from the beginning and just kind of going until 193. That also didn't do it for us, just because, again, like it was initially done in black and white, and to like add the color plays a little bit with at least the atmosphere of that one especially. So the black and white titles, like, it's not that often that we see them in current comics. Yeah, I mean that one, but that one's kind of cool because at least they're using red too as a kind of way to put emphasis on certain things and contrast. And
what they should have done in the end of Kill Bill 1, when it goes to black and white, they should have had the red filter still work.
yeah,
That would have been tight.
That's
what I'm thinking. That Wolverine thing. That's what I thought with the Wolverine thing.
But
I'm
also,
like, that's what I wanted.
But also,
to
this
look
one
like.
is like initially done in black and white. So like I think they'll make good use of that because you know they're doing it for that effect. It's like movies that are now shot, you know, that they'll like later on add like 3D effects to. Well, it's like, well, if it wasn't shot for 3D, you know, it's not going to look it if you just kind of cop that on. So it's kind of the same for the black and white books. So
but as
that
far
black,
as
white, and red one looks like it.
Like, yeah, for your, like, to answer your question specifically, weekly, unless there's an indie title that I'm not thinking of, nothing is in black and white right now.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was the last thing, and before that, I mean, it's pretty rare actually outside of manga. Yeah, the manga is all black and white, of course. But
yeah,
even that, they're starting to do colored versions of a lot of things. Like, well, maybe not a lot, but like Akira has a colored version. I was gonna say there are colored versions of, I think, only the first 6 issues of this. I don't know why they didn't do the whole 12. I've never been able to figure that out.
Yeah, Sin City was another one that we brought up too as
You're welcome.
one.
David, oh my God. I don't know if you're into collected editions. I'll have to show it off one day. It's like an omnibus of Sin City. It's called Big Damn Sin City, and it's literally everything Sin City
all the
ever.
side stories and
Everything, and it's the biggest book I own. It like hurts my wrists when I take it off the shelf, which isn't a good thing. Sometimes I'm like, are they too big? Would I prefer two smaller? Like if you split it into 2. But I'll show it off to you one day, man. It's sick.
You've got to stretch yourself before you stretch the spine of that.
It's true. Yeah, that's why I started weightlifting again, so I could read Sin City. I got to build up to it.
So
I was like, sorry, Frank Miller, I'm not strong enough.
Maybe in a few months we'll do Sin City again once you're strong enough to lift.
Yeah, I'll stick to your 4-part miniseries like
Exactly.
Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One and Wolverine and stuff like that.
Yeah, Sin City, again, another good example of just a solid black and white book because, again, it was made for that, and it fits.
But isn't the Yellow Bastard yellow even in that?
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be the same way with
There's a few things that might have color.
black, white, and red for Wolverine. Because, again, like, they're doing it with that in mind. It's not like just here is, like, Wolverine 1 through 4 that we've just made black and white instead of with colors. So
I don't know if this point got across or not, but the opposite of that,
yeah,
like we were saying with The Walking Dead, if it was originally done in black and white, it doesn't necessarily look better with color. In the case of The Walking Dead, from what we saw, I thought it was. Oh, you got Squadron Supreme.
I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of the.
Okay, I dig it. Welcome to the Omnibus game. I am a huge fan. That is my preferred way to collect anything.
Our sub-podcast called the Omni Boys, where we talk about omnibuses.
Yeah, dog, join the chat on Tuesdays. We'll talk, especially next Tuesday, because maybe we'll have some new ones to look at. Hint, 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 hint. Everybody chime in on Tuesday. And
bring your wallets.
Bring your well. Oh wait, no, I meant more for the Mike. The previews.
That's right.
That's what I meant.
Those previews from the omnibuses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Those
he does have.
Yeah,
he just started getting those.
Yeah, because Skylar. Yeah, we had read those and have a video up of our review of them.
David? Did you read Walking Dead? Oh, you know another notoriously famous like black and white comic is the first 62 issues of Ninja Turtles. Although they did, and the wait, sorry.
So yeah, there it is.
Okay. They have hardcover releases of the black and white versions, but they also, a few years ago, went back and re-released just the Eastman and Laird issues, which only amounts to like 32 issues out of the 62, and colored those and then released those in hardcovers. Those look fantastic. Have you seen the colored versions of those?
The originals, yeah, because we have...
the paperbacks are colored, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dog. It looks great.
Like the full color collection, I think it's called.
Defenders Omnibus #1, the 1972. The first Omnibus comes out in like March or April 2021.
Are Defenders C tier? I don't know. Maybe it's just got my boy, the Good Doctor. But also, I'm also just a fan of, just side stories like that. Like I like Squadron Supreme. I think they were supposed to have a new series coming out, but maybe that's when they got canceled, or they were featured in a new series again. But yeah, man, Squadron Supreme doesn't get nearly enough love as it should.
Where'd you pick up the omnibus? Not that I'm judging. I'm just curious because
Yeah.
maybe you got it from a
Are you
place.
seeing other comic book stores?
Yeah, you can do that. You got to tell me where too, because maybe I want to go see what they got. It's probably a place I know. Or you ordered it online. Maybe you did online. I don't know if Squadron Supreme is hard to get.
Yeah, there you go.
All 62. Well, actually, technically 66 if you include the 4 micro series: Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and technically, you are technically supposed to include the Fugitoid one-shot. That is by Eastman and Laird, and it's done in the oversized magazine form, but it's not included in any of the collected editions, so how important is it really? But some people would call it essential.
They always forget that one.
62/66/ maybe 67.
Broke down, got online. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, especially because like we talk about this a lot too when it comes to Omnis.
We don't have a lot in the store, so
many of them move so quick, and either whether it's short print runs or just high demands, like what was the one most recently where like we put in an order for it, and then like a day or two later, like it was out of stock.
Wolverine was one of them.
Exactly, yeah. So like they technically we're nerds, but yeah, like that's the thing is the Omnis like they move pretty quick, and there is a very healthy market for that. So once they're gone, they're gone. So like yeah, that's the bummer. It's like as much as we'd love to be able to constantly order some of these books for people, like.
Yeah, sometimes we can't, even for ourselves, even for me, Johnny boy. Sometimes I call Diamond, I'm like, yo, Jeppy, WTF, dog? And he's like, sorry, dude, we're out. And I'm like,
it's Johnny.
Yeah.
Talking Omnis here.
Yeah, his like assistant answers, I'm like, it's John. Oh, right away, Mr. Werner, and they just send me through.
Let me pipe you on in.
Okay, thanks, Lorraine. I like these scenarios I make up. These are all, they paint a picture.
We've got them right here.
Yeah. Me and my old pal, Jep. Spelled Jerk. Jeppy. Makeup.
Makeup? Did we miss something? Did I miss something?
I don't know.
Johnny, how do you feel about the Tick?
I like the Tick, but I also like interacting with people.
I'm teasing.
They are, but if people enjoy their videos, they wouldn't watch them.
Oh, that's my life. I say something and then, when we were talking about Jeppy, I got carried away.
Yeah, we were kind of rambling there.
Exactly.
That was hard. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that whole thing, and I'm like, wow, I made those points. That's cool.
Oh, scenarios you make up. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a makeup joke. Come on, that read differently.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. I thought it was like a hair and makeup joke. We make hair and makeup jokes all the time. Like I texted you at 10 in the morning with a hair and makeup joke today that actually happened.
Did my hair and makeup and shaved in the bathroom in the back.
Yeah, we
as you were one to do.
But I do make up stories.
And that was real though.
That really happened.
You know what else really happened?
We did read the Tick. Believe it or not.
The Tick getting attacked by ninjas.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we should do like a skim overview.
Yeah, because they move pretty quick, and like there's not a lot of deep lore or like.
No, it's a joke.
On our scale of Watchmen to Berserk in terms of readability.
It's the English Berserk, or I mean, it's like the American Berserk. It's like the closest we've come to Berserk in terms of pace, right? Wouldn't you agree? I thought that too. Yeah, it's definitely more. And it's black and white, oversized pages, not a deluxe hardcover.
In fact, it's a softcover. Got
David Shook, do you like anime, manga? Did you ever read Berserk? You ever got a Berserk Deluxe? It's like an omnibus, but better.
It is.
Come talk to me right now in the chat. So, the Tick, look at that. It's like
comics, yep.
Totally like a Batman, right?
Well, isn't everything these days?
Yeah, so basically the Tick is he lives in a world where superheroes are real, and he thinks he's one. He wants to be a superhero. He has nigh invincibility.
Yep, he's nigh invincible and super strong.
And he can leap pretty...
I think that falls under the strength.
Yeah, so... basically, he's kind of like blissfully unaware of how dumb he is, and he goes around doing stupid crap and like trying to do good, but doesn't. It's like a blissful, or it's like an innocent ignorance.
Yeah.
So that's kind of who he is. So like
Almost kind of Mr. Magoo's his way through like helping people in some ways.
yeah, like it's opening with him basically like falling off the side of a building, and he crashes through, like looking for crime, and he crashes through a building where there happens to be some crime going on.
Exactly.
These ninjas have this dude hostage, and then the guy asks him for help. He's like, help me, and he's like, sorry citizen, I don't have time to help, I'm looking for crime, and like moves on. So like it's that type of
Good
humor.
work, Tick.
I don't know, because the omnibus hasn't come out yet.
We'll have to wait till then to count how many
Yeah.
times.
17 is my guess. We can book it. We'll write it down now.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, and then, yeah,
It is Johnny's favorite scene.
yeah, I will. You're right. That's all joking aside.
Yeah,
Damn right I will.
Joke about Omnibus.
Yeah, dude. So then, like, he's still going around the city. I love this. It's so funny. He falls off the side, and he's gonna bounce off the flagpole to safety, and then he grabs it and it starts, bending because it's a flagpole, and it's got the sound effect. Whoop, 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 it's whoop, 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 whoop. And that carries throughout the next like 4 pages.
Yeah.
I think that's funny
Just
as hell.
constantly in the background. Yeah, no, it's clever. Just
Well, and then like that breaks, and he's like, "Aha! I bounce off that broad, flat surface and be in a lot of pain." That's funny, man. It reads really well.
yeah, he's got a great voice.
Oh, I was just talking about the first like 34 issues that are going to be in the omnibus,
Yeah. We'll count.
which is one every 2, which you said 50 to 100. Oh, look at that! We got the same ratio. See, we're talking the same
Perfect,
language.
Johnny knows his stuff.
I am perfect. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, he's like going around the city, and then like that like crime he like stopped accidentally with the ninjas. They like come chasing him, and they're basically talking to one another like, can we survive a fall like that? And they're like, yeah, we're ninjas, we could do that. And so they jump and they just go kaput. They just die. They just splat on the ground. We just
A lot of death in this.
yeah, it's very like it's death is very nonchalant.
Yeah. Speaking of nonchalant Nighthawks reference.
Yeah, I
was gonna
love
say,
that.
We got a Nighthawks reference in Batman Year One.
Yup, I was wondering where else we saw it.
There was one other one that we had it. I don't remember offhand though, but this scene I liked. Just him inside the Nighthawks painting, just shooting the breeze with those guys.
Yeah, like the basically someone says like he's not a hero and he threatens them. It's funny. It's a good exchange.
Yeah, Dave, you're right about the IGN barf. 57 though. Yeah, that's. Maybe that's right.
57. That's pretty low. Well, wait. Are we counting the X-Men as a team, or are we like, well, Cyclops is number 14 and
Exactly.
Gambit's number
I would
12?
assume X-Men would be a team, right? Or at least
That's good, 'cause that's gonna change things.
Like classic X-Men.
Yeah, if we're gonna,
Pull it up, Johnny. We're gonna go down the list. Maybe on Tuesday.
yeah, we should do that. That sounds like something I need to do. I'm gonna dispute their list. Tell them why they're wrong.
Like, yeah, why
Yeah,
is
you know, bro.
Doctor
Wait,
Strange
hold
in
on.
the
Is
top
it?
5?
I think it's them who did the top 100 best cartoons of all time back in like 2014 or something.
They do
And
a lot-
like,
they do a lot of like clickbait. Like
there's
top-
a good one. There's some good ones on there, but it's also like, I don't know, dude. Like X-Men the animated series was way lower than it should have been. Yeah, I'm with you on
exactly.
that. But it's a list, and lists are fun. I like making lists.
It
Looking at
gets-
lists.
It gets you talking, Johnny. It gets you thinking.
Most things do. I can ramble on anything.
How do you feel about Nighthawks? Damn, Charlie, Jesus. Talking about people just getting murdered nonchalantly.
Charlie out of nowhere killing IGN.
And this is so this scene right here where it ends with him blacking out and waking up later. I like because one of the one shots that we get right at the end. I don't know if you remember. It touches on that scene again. Like it was made like 30 years later. They did like a quick one shot that explains what happened between him blacking out and then him waking up in the subway. Just a small thing like that I thought.
I didn't know they did it 30 years later. I didn't know that was like that late of an add-on.
I think they mentioned it at the
Okay.
start there of like hey, this came out with you because this is like initial tick. This is 88.
Yeah,
and then
pretty old.
they've still been doing stuff here and there.
There was a free comic book day tick
Yeah.
a year or two ago.
This year we got one right over there.
Favorite Pastimes comics. You're
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
up there, actually. You know what else I really love
Exactly.
about you, and I'm dead ass serious about this. You clear out your box
I
very
was gonna say,
regularly,
real talk.
and that's
man.
been an issue
If we-
here
if we had-
lately.
If we had a top 10 list,
Oh, you're
I've
cracking
been
it, dog.
days-
You're very up there. Also, I never got to communicate this with you, but I know you were trying to find that Turtles toy for
Oh,
me.
yes.
Thank you for trying. I know it. I was able to get one off eBay for a very fair price, so I'm cool with at that. But I mean, seriously, thank you for trying. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
really. So I haven't gotten to say that to you because I never see you. But I should show that off on the chat one day. It's really
Exactly,
cool,
yeah.
actually. So, yeah, Tick wakes up here and he thinks he's in the inside of a whale belly. It's just so goofy, man. I would love writing this.
Remember Joan and the Whale?
I do. I actually, you know what I was thinking about was the end of the Pinocchio movie with
Also a reference to Jonah and the
shoot,
Whale.
what's his name? He had the 3 names. He was in Home Improvement. You know what I'm saying?
Thomas. Dang it. What was it?
Taylor.
Michael Thomas? Is that it? No.
Come on, people, help us.
Keegan Michael Key? I don't know.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Tim Allen. Thank you.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas!
Jonathan.
Come on down! Pinocchio.
We are bad at
Yeah,
that.
this was making me think of that Pinocchio movie,
Which
but
is a reference to Jonah and the Whale.
I guess it is. You're right. Wasn't
It's
trying to get
not-
all biblical.
I
I
was
was
gonna
trying to
say,
stay more in the Disney
man,
realm of
Catholic
things.
school, you can't break it.
Jesus Christ,
Superstar.
superstar, are you really what they say you are? So he wakes up in this train tunnel with the train coming at him, and there's it's Clark Kent. It's Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Inspired by Peter Pan. That's funny.
Thank you, Trevor.
You know, it's Clark Kent. Like, there's the Superman in this world, but he's not Superman. What's his name? It's Clark, Otter.
Yeah, it's something very nearby.
I love that there's, like, the ninja here. Yeah, the ninjas in this town, which are, like, the bad guys, have been basically, like, turned into, like, an organized, like, gang.
It
It's
felt
funny.
very, like TMNT-ish, of, like, you know, like it's the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Just,
But basically, the Superman character
Yep.
ends up trying to save Tick, but they get into a little argument where he's like, no, I'm the hero. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you. And they end up getting hit by the train. And it doesn't hurt either of them, and Tick
No.
even mentions he
Nice.
hates getting run over by trains.
exactly.
Yeah, and so they get, they get knocked off the train rails, and basically he's like, yo, I'm Clark. What the hell is his last name? I couldn't remember it. It's Otter something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They touch on it a little bit later, but
Yeah. Basically, he's like, yeah, I'm not a superhero. I gotta go. See you later. And
I'm a reporter. I've got to go. Here's a good bit. It's how to draw one. It was clever. Just I was pointing out funny stuff. Like that one was good too. Yeah, just like these like just some small like little one shots that they sprinkle in there too. Of early Tick.
cool pinup.
Hell yeah. It's got everything.
I
you
like the
need.
Tick's writing. That's very childlike. That
It's-
comes up a few times.
It's got the
throughout.
Tick. It's got Babes. I'd put that up in my room.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to order me up a undamaged copy of this.
Good luck.
Oh, the crossword puzzles. It's so funny. Dude, we're going so slow.
Speed it up, man. Issue 2, what happens? We get to see more of our boy, definitely not Clark Kent.
Yeah, so the Tick shows up at the Daily... It's the Daily Planet, but they give it some other name. You know, it's like... it's something stupid. Oh, Mr. Oppenheimer. Clark Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
So he goes to the Daily whatever in a disguise trying to get a job. The World Planet, that's what it is. Here, Perry Beige, editor-in-chief. Instead of Perry White, Perry Beige. Also, I now know how to spell beige. This was a double win. Very happy. I've always wondered how you do that. I thought there was an S in there.
It's funny and informative.
Yes. Thank you, Ben Edlund. Thank you. Yeah, and then like Jimmy Olsen, but it's Billy
I was
instead of
gonna
Jimmy.
say, yeah.
Whatever.
I
And
know
yeah,
what they're doing.
so Tick gets a job there. He walks in, and basically Perry Beige is like, "Oh, you're the guy Ned who's supposed to be writing the crossword puzzles." And Tick is like, "Yeah,
That's me.
I'm him."
Yeah.
And so he finally tracks down Clark, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, we should we should be sidekicks. Like we should go fight crime together." And he's like, "No, like I'm not doing that with you." And basically he's just harassing him at the office the whole issue, and it's pretty
Exactly,
funny.
Yeah, this whole issue is an HR problem waiting to happen.
And then, the Tick like ends up going into Clark's desk, and he pulls out this crystal, which is a total like Superman reference, and like a head pops out, like instead of Jor-El, it's Marlon Brando, because Marlon Brando played
Yeah.
Jor-El in the original Superman, the Christopher
Famously.
Reeves ones from the 70s. I think 78's the first
Yeah.
one. And man, my nerd knowledge is on point today. I'm impressing David, I think.
That's what we're here for.
That's right. He's like, wow. I actually did a project on Christopher. I don't want to get too off track. I did a project on Christopher Reeves when I was in like 3rd grade.
Okay.
He was actually a really cool dude. I was actually really upset when he died because he, after he got paralyzed, he actually did like a real lot, like for stem cell research. Whether you are for it or not, he really tried to make that happen. So, very inspiring human being. You know, R.I.P. Superman. So Marlon Brando gets his just due. Man, you said Perry Beige so fast. I thought you said Karen Page. So sick, dude. Oh man, this guy's making Daredevil references. Dog, check this out. You're gonna understand what this means. I went to another comic store on my birthday because I was doing like a tour of different comic stores on my birthday back in August, and I went to a very big name comic chain that you would think would have informed employees, and he's like, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah. Do you have any Frank Miller Daredevil? And he was like, I got this one, and he showed me like a Daredevil like 54, some random ass, and I'm like,
54. What a.
yeah, I was like, I'm like, dog,
bummer.
this is from like 1965. But no, Frank Miller, and he was like, we got the box over there. I'm like, you prick, you work at a comic store? So,
Sounds like something I'd
be appreciative of how informed Mike and I are, because we're pretty good.
How informed you are.
You're good. You know things I don't know. You know all that horror stuff. You know a lot more about manga than I
but
do.
that's the thing is the stuff that I like is stuff that people don't ask.
Yeah, but that's not true. But you know what? Here, I'll say this. I think I know a real lot about the things that I know about, but I don't know how like wide that net is cast.
Sure. Exactly. Yeah, Frank Miller. As I like point you over to like some random Superman issue. Is this him?
Thank you, Dave. Sure. Come back again next week. Andrew,
Exactly. Yeah,
happy
Dave,
you're
we
here.
miss you. We love you. Hope everything's going all right with you guys over there.
Yeah, David works at the
That's
local Walmart. He's the man. It's right around the corner.
doxing people.
What? I'm giving him a shout out, man. I'm saying like go support that one because it's got good management. I'm trying to give you a shout. I'm trying to be nice. Mike's
okay,
making me
Johnny.
feel
You're
awkward. So he steals the Marlon Brando crystal from Clark Kent's or Clark Ottenheimer, whatever his name is,
Oppenheimer.
Chicken Manchango.
Now we're all sons of bitches.
Yeah, and then Clark is. He gets pissed at him for taking the crystal, and so he takes him to the roof, and he's like, "Look, man, like this is my town. Like I'm the hero. Like you need to just back off." And then the tick pulls out. I thought this was so funny. He like pulls out something, and he's like, "This is like your weakness, like basically kryptonite." And Clark is like, "Oh no, I can feel my powers leaving my body." And then the tick is like, "Just kidding, it's an eraser." And he's like. I thought that was funny as hell because he like takes himself so
Exactly,
seriously,
yeah.
and then he gets played by the tick.
What?
Yeah, so that really pissed him off, and then he ended up like in a fit of rage. He was like stomping around, throwing a freaking tantrum, and he knocks off this like globe thing from the world planet.
I feel like you'd appreciate it. It felt very much Homer Simpson and Frank Grimes-esque in their relationship of like Tick
nice.
being just kind of like a nuisance to him the whole time as he's just trying to actually be legitimate.
I'm not saying I'm in this boat. A lot of people say that might be the best episode of The Simpsons ever made. Frank Grimes one. A lot of people have that opinion.
I don't know if I agree with that, but also thanks for coming on by, Dave. Always good seeing you. Hope you can stop on by more often, and hope you enjoy the rest of Empire. That one we've got to start dipping into at some point, but yeah, we'll see.
The omnibus, dog.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's already solicited.
Oh really?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that? Wasn't it that one? Remember I told you there was already a... Yeah, I think it's that.
It might have
I think
been,
there's not.
that could be the
Yeah,
case,
I think
yeah.
we had that conversation.
But yeah, as always, thanks for
Yeah,
coming by,
David, stop in on a Wednesday after 4 o'clock or a Tuesday after any time.
After any time.
I'll be here when we open. Adios. Good night.
Let's bring it on.
Oh, he's leaving, not us. Shoot, I got that backwards. Sorry, man. I thought we were signing off. I'm sorry. So yeah,
And that seems like everybody's going out. Issue one.
all 2 episodes, all 1.5 issues of the Tick.
Ah.
What did you think of it? Oh yeah, you said an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, so the first couple issues, yeah, we get the knockoff Superman. Then it dips more into the Generic ninja. Like I said, we get
Straight up Electro rip.
Exactly, yeah.
But like
Well,
it's
Interface Electra, yeah.
I love like she became a ninja because she was supposed to go like out for ballet lessons, and then she like saw the advertisement to become a ninja, and she's like, oh, that sounds cooler, and like went to ninja training. See, I'm really buying into the comedy of it. I can get why people wouldn't. It'd be like, oh, this is kind of lame and forced, but I don't know. I thought it was really fun.
No, and like I mean, obviously picked up on a lot of the references too. It just like it was good. It just didn't have me like actually like laughing more out loud until a little bit later.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like it was still good. Like I wasn't like annoyed by it. I wasn't like rolling my eyes. Like I said, it wasn't like anything like groan worthy or like I said, like honestly, Deadpool stuff. Like when I read that, it's kind of like the trying too hard or it's not like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the funny.
Exactly. Yeah. So like that's why again like. And also, it's a product of its time to some degree. Of it came out in the '80s, so like other things have done it similar.
I love this when he threatens to throw the chimney at the ninjas, and then he ends up doing it right here.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No. Like it was good stuff. Like we got the Ninja World. They've got their own gift shop. This middle manager of like the Ninja Clan that's like just mismanaging everything. Just a goofball, and then just like the way the ninjas interact with one another, like it's good stuff.
Dude, the ninjas like
the wall, the hedge wall, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like hiding in plain sight, like hedges, and like it's just funny. It's like stupid.
Standing there holding a branch.
Yeah, ingenious. The tick. They're hedges. I love his stupidity.
Yeah.
It is very Homer Simpson-esque. You're right.
Yeah, and they make him a little bit.
Oh, dude, and then like this one ninja. Like falls into the street and like a car hits it and they're like
he just dies.
Yeah, and they're like, oh dude, honey, did you just hit a ninja? He's like, yeah, it's okay, it's just a ninja. At least it wasn't a collie.
Yeah, it wasn't a border collie. Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, just a ninja. No respect for ninjas.
But yeah, basically she had stolen this thing called the Thorn of Oblivion. They just give this thing stupid names. And the Thorn of Oblivion, we don't know what it does at this point, and like that's why the ninjas are chasing her.
Ninja artifact, yeah.
Because her master Shing told her to go get it.
Of course.
So she shows it to the tick. And they're back at her place now. They broke into her home. And she dresses the tick up as a waiter so they can, like, be inconspicuous. There's Arthur.
Tick cleans up good, though. I like him in the suit.
I agree.
It's a good shot of him.
It is. I just like it.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to get him out. Oh man, he like gets scared of like her mom and like faints practically.
Yeah. But yeah, then we also see in these ones we meet Paul the samurai who comes all the way from Japan because he's got like a blood feud with these ninjas. Who's also kind of a dopey and a little bit bumbling. He's basically like the Tick as a samurai. Like this scene here where he takes the sword out and he says, like once my katana's unsheathed, it has to taste blood before I can put it away again. And he just like looks down at his already cut up hand and he just gives himself another like paper cut on there to bleed for a little bit as an excuse to then put it away.
I do like that.
Because he had to whip that sword out in dramatic fashion. Which Paul the Samurai has like his own like mini series and stuff like that too.
So does Man Eating Cow.
Exactly, Man Eating Cow, chain wielding, or the chainsaw maniac guy, in like the later issues.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, and then so we this is also the issue where we get introduced to Arthur.
First appearance of Arthur.
Exactly, yeah. Mark it down. Key issues for the Tick, because he swoops in here because they stow away the artifact before the ninjas could take them away. And Arthur ends up picking it up, and then the head boss of the ninja clan from Japan is coming on over to kind of do an inspection of their organization over there and see how well or mismanaged it's being run. And yeah, this early storyline was pretty interesting. I kind of liked it a little bit better once they started getting into a bit more straightforward parodies of the superheroes and villains. Like I said, that Red Scare one was good, and then once they get to New York too, I think it picks up a bit more. But
I like this when he like tried to hide his katana in a loaf of bread so he could bring it on the plane.
it's like, yeah, he's just doing work. Yeah,
And they're like, the lady's like, all right, can you put that through the X-ray machine? He's like, why? It's just a loaf of bread. And then he's like, in his mind, he's like, I'm not getting on this plane because they won't let me on with this sword.
I wonder if like pre 9/11 security, if he would have been able to get away with that, just like, oh,
this is 88.
Exactly, yeah, it's 88.
So no, the answer is no. Still no loaves of bread on the plane back in 88.
Damn.
I like this. He's threatening the ninja with the sword.
Yeah.
It's still in the loaf of bread. It was just goofy, man.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of the artwork?
It's good. Like that's the thing too is in this book, like we see like later works of it, like almost like early mid 2000s, I think was what a few of the like the one shots were, and like you could see the progression of its art style, but like it's still good here. Like it's good, expressive character faces. It's you could tell what's going on, you know, for being black and white. I mean, granted, there's like whether you see this as like a shortcut, the way the ninjas are like, like their faces there are just like empty like slits in the masks, like, but also at the same time like they're just nameless, faceless, rank and file ninjas. So like,
but they're not nameless. That could she like calls them by name.
Exactly, yeah, they just got like just
She's
regular.
like, hey Phil, like I'm not like Larry.
Just generic names.
I love it, dude. Yeah, Ninja Larry. It was making me think of like the mutants in Dark Knight, like Mutant Rob,
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
Mutant Bob.
Oh, man, that was so good. We still gotta get sweaters of that.
I would dig that.
Yeah, Oedipus gets hurt in the scuffle. She gets stabbed.
Yeah, so then he meets up with Shing, who told her to go get the Thorn of Oblivion, and so then like they were partnered up a little bit, and Paul the Samurai again. Yeah, him and the Ticket introduced to one another.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the artwork. I think it's very much a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an 80s comic.
Yeah.
I really did like I was able to read the first issue in color.
Oh yeah.
I would prefer to read all of it in color. This
really?
is I thought the color was phenomenal on it.
Yeah, because that's one of the things, like, early on they mention, you know, that the tick is blue. Like, they have to, you know, outright kind of explain it, or, you know, like, have, like, a character say, like, something about him being blue, because otherwise we wouldn't know. But also, like, that's a good thing to know, that we've got this, like, what is he? He's, like, 6'7", like, 400-pound, you know, mumbling, bumbling dude just kind of wandering around in a huge blue outfit, so good to know.
Yeah, and Oedipus gets attacked by, what's the dude's name? I can't think of his name. The ninja opposite of Samurai Paul.
Oh, like the head leader guy?
Yeah.
I forget off.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Tick ends up leaving her side when she's, like, hospitalized and injured, and, like, that was a mistake, because then this guy, like, goes and, like, kidnaps her, and basically, you know, he, like, holds her for ransom, and is like, yeah, I'm gonna kill her unless you give me the Thorn of Oblivion. And I was hoping he would say his name. I don't know what his name is. Mm-hmm. But basically, the Tick ends up throwing it over the side of the roof, and the moron goes and dives for it and just splats onto the ground. Oh, wow. They really oh, no, that was that. Okay.
Because, like, the prophecy of that is if it's destroyed, as with it would be destroyed, like, the entire, like, ninja clan. Like, the age of ninjas would be over, they'd be done. But no, Johnny, it was a hoax, an ancient hoax. Of course it didn't work. What did you expect? Ninjas everywhere bursting into flames, burning away to nothing? Well, that kind of thing doesn't happen. This isn't a comic book, you know.
That would have been a good one, too.
It's another good follow-up quote. Yeah, one more.
So basically, though, at that point, they defeated that bad guy. End of story. For that, that's kind of the first arc.
Yeah, and it does kind of wrap up there. Like, we don't really see that much of the ninjas there. That's a free pinup. Let me just rip that bad boy out. And yeah, here we go. What is this, issue 6? Okay, yeah, so by issue 6, I think is where, for me, it started opening up a bit more.
Bro, are you as hungry as I am?
I think that might just be you.
I am, like, I can feel myself withering away into nothingness. Like, I'm gonna be 20 pounds less by the time this stream ends. I'm lightheaded. I'm anxious.
Do you want to go grab a Snickers, Johnny?
No, I don't. I want to grab something else, but we don't have it here. We don't have anything else
No
here.
beef jerky?
I'm grabbing some tacos on my way home.
Sure.
Or a half chicken. Shoot. See what happens when you start working out again? The hunger bug hits, man. It hits you hard.
Wouldn't know, Johnny.
We're gonna get you swole, Mike. as swole as the Red Scare.
Exactly. Yeah,
So yeah, this starts a new story arc, Villains Inc., which is basically like, yeah, the Red Scare is like the opposite of the Tick. He's like the communist.
Yeah, I thought it was clever. Like the Villains Inc. idea is, here is this organization, this company that you could basically pay to like, basically hire a villain for your own. You being the superhero, you hire the villain to basically take a dive for you, right? Like the idea is Red Scare is going to show up for Running Fast Man. Because Running Fast Man is a local superhero who's just kind of on the uprise, and he wants to get his push into fame. So the idea is he's going to this Villains Inc. to hire Red Scare to meet him in like the town square, and they're going to have like a big dramatic duel in which Running Fast Man is going to beat the Red Scare.
Yeah,
and
there's like a news crew and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Like they're going to
It's
record
it's a big hired package. Of,
Publicity stunt,
you get like 1 hour, like a 14-minute monologue. The news crew will be there.
So intense.
Exactly, yeah.
Step 5 destroyed.
Yeah, very much a gosh, what's his face from Rocky 4?
Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Ivan
Yeah.
Drago.
He even says,
He
"I will break your
dies.
one."
He
Exactly.
dies.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, no, I thought that was like actually kind of like a silly like idea. I dug it. They talk about like the different packages and like they're just kind of like they go town to town doing this. Like the guy who plays the Red Scare was like playing a different role in another city a few towns over. So it was just a clever little idea. But as always, like I said, the Tick just kind of like Mr. Magoo's his way into the pack. Like
he sees him and he thinks he's a real villain.
exactly, yeah, because. Running Fast Man had like agreed to the package. They were gonna meet in the in the town square at midnight or whatever at 7 p.m. And Red Scare is already there, giving his prepaid villain monologue to the townsfolk. But as the Tick and Arthur are just out there running errands, doing groceries, they bump into it. They see it happening, and the Tick decides, well, look at this. Here's a supervillain. It's my first chance at becoming a proper superhero. So he kind of runs in and starts battling him as Running Fast Man is waiting to give his news interview. Yes. Oh, the book? Yeah, exactly. You can't really see it that well, but the pages are a little wrinkled from
The
delivery.
damage.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Yeah, basically, Running Fast Man is like, where the hell is this dude? I paid him to be here.
Exactly. Yeah. The news team was running late, so a different news team came up.
I love this. Wow, he's fast. Very fast. Are we filming this, Adolf? That guy's faster than 10 fast men.
It's good.
The writing's phenomenal. I think Ben Edlund and I would have really awesome conversations. I feel like he's on the same goofy level
we'll
as
have
I
to get
am.
him on the show one of these days.
What if we did?
What if?
Ben!
You listening, Ben?
Ben!
Exactly.
Why didn't you tell me? That's from Star Wars. But you didn't know there's other quotes from that movie outside of I Am Your Father.
I want to know.
Yeah, and basically, Running Fast Man like runs up on them and is like, "What the hell? Like you screwed me."
Exactly, yeah. What are you doing? This is my I paid for this. Because even when the Tick starts running up on the Red Scare, he's even like, "Hey, I was waiting for like Running Fast Man," and the Tick's like, "Oh, Running Fast Man isn't coming. It's me. It's the Tick." He's like, "Well, if you guys wanted to change your names or your bit like that, like you should have told me ahead of time and I could have prepared." But he thinks that it's all like like just some wrestling bit that they're doing here. But it's
How do you mean?
It's still
What's a
real-
wrestling bit? What do you mean?
Johnny, there's kayfabe. You got to protect the company.
Wait, what the hell is that? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's-
Wait, is this where we get the? Does it cut back to
we
Clark
got-
here? Is that where we are? Or is that
The Tick
next
is
one?
shooting. Running
is it?
Fast Man's Red Scare's a real jobber.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
real to me, damn it.
Wait. Did you feel like this guy was like a Punisher ripoff?
Which guy? No, he is. He's a Dick Tracy knockoff. He's just a generic,
I guess he kind of looks like the
like
Punisher.
detective, hard-boiled detective in the city, private eye. But yeah, because he even starts reading a Trick Daisy. I think they had it in
Oh, yeah.
one of the stores. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Dick
Did you
Tracy
like that?
knockoff.
Because you like your little comics within comics. I
do.
thought of you.
Oh, there's one that I really liked. The Red Eye. Oh man, Beware the Red Eye or whatever it's called, because that's just a straight up EC comic that they're doing there. So good.
Yeah, it cuts back to Clark here for the first time since like the second
Yeah,
issue, and he's getting his
exactly.
car fixed that the tick messed up, and he's just really irritated. Do you think he's gonna come back and be a villain later?
I don't know. There was one character that did come back that I knew that they were going to do something with. Yeah, I kind of like the world that they're building here with their repeat characters, and then like I said, I like this knockoff detective guy. I forget his name, but that was a fun storyline that I liked. Damn monkey. There he is.
The Moon Menace.
Yeah.
Angus McGuire.
Angus McGuire, yeah.
Police detective.
Where they write cha in the moon.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the cow one
Chairface.
and the. Yeah, Chairface I remember from the cartoon.
Yeah.
But, dude, I love this with the cows and the crocodiles.
Yeah, exactly. The rabid cows.
Yeah.
So then in this
Eyebrow
one,
Smith.
we see Market Key Issues first appearance of the Tick Yelling Spoon.
It's true.
But yeah, this issue is we get to find out about the main
Racy Dick.
Exactly, yeah, Racy Dick. The main villain of the Tick, which is Chairface, who is, as it sounds,
Supervillain.
it's just a man who's
Got a
faces a chair,
Yeah.
as you're wont to do. And they're kind of hunting him down, finding the criminal organization, because they're going to have a meeting at like a local hotel, like they're having a convention for like
Pineapple.
all the. Yeah, like that's the thing is like this. The series runs goes well with like the constant like here's just a few one-off like superheroes or villain names that we came up with, like where we get to like their name is like their entire shtick of like the pineapple face and Ugly Devin who's got his face kind of covered, just all these like little like
Wait, the
nods in the
cleft.
background.
That's from Fairly Odd Parents.
The cleft, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's got like cleft chin man or whatever. Like
That's
that,
what it
where
is,
it's
yeah.
Like, the big cleft chin. Yeah, just stuff like that. The guy who looks just like Peter Lorre.
Yeah. That guy's creepy.
You know who else is creepy? Peter Lorre.
That's what I meant.
Looks just like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to see this like the supervillain convention that they've kind of snuck their way into. And then yeah, there's Chairface. His face is Chair. And his whole plan is he is going to with like they brought in these refined lenses that they're going to put into a laser telescope so they could write in the moon Chairface so people at all times know who like the greatest villain of all time is.
Pretty standard.
It's a good bit.
Villain ploy.
Exactly. But the party is literally broken up by Angus and the Tick, and as they're kind of midway through using the lasers, they've captured them, and they're going to lower them into the pit of ravenous alligators and cows.
Yeah, and they get dropped in, and
We get to see the big villain
turns out that
plan reveal.
I loved. Wait, what was the line? Yes, little did Chairface know that alligator is the cow's natural-born enemy. What a stupid-ass line. I love it, dude.
Exactly, yeah, because like all the alligators are like stuffed from eating all the cows, so they have no
Don't even
threat there.
attack, yeah.
They bust out midway through them using the laser. They've already written CHA in the moon's surface, and they bust it up from there. And then whenever the moon is featured in a background shot, we see
Says cha.
the cha.
Which is good continuity.
It is, yeah. You gotta be
Right there.
keep it consistent there too. And then yeah, they foil them.
Chad, Charles, and question
Exactly.
marks.
They keep out of the newspaper who it was that did it to not give Chairface notoriety. So like different organizations and like villains are like claiming responsibility for it. So.
And then we get introduced to the man-eating cow in issue number 8. How'd you dig this? Is this where it started to get funny for you?
This one like it was interesting. For me, I think it was at best in New York, and like some of the. Oh wait, no, that's right, I lied. The issue in Monolith, what was it, Kentucky? Monolith. It was somewhere when they go to the small rural town. I like that one.
Oh, here's your red eye.
Oh Dude, that's so good.
Free comic book day.
Exactly. Yeah,
free
yeah.
comic book week.
That's the best thing. That's my thought exactly when I see a comic. Like, ooh, free comic. But yeah, he reads it a little bit later. Yeah, I like the whole thing of like the looking through the like seeing eye thing.
Yeah, what the hell are those called? The
viewfinders.
Yeah, and like that's his like special like crime fighting device.
Exactly. But
like,
he sees it for like a
shit.
brief moment. Like it's basically like here is like take vision of like when he goes in there, like he could sense crime nearby, and then like he flips it once, and then it's like back to ooh, dinosaurs. It's good because I don't know. I just like the idea of like, is the tick completely insane, or is there some validity to what
right?
You're seeing?
That's kind of what you're working
on. And then
here you go.
One of the best scenes for me is as the tick is just kind of waiting for dinner to be served. He came across this random comic called The Red Eye, which is just, as we see here between the style and the layout, it is just straight up an EC comic knockoff of here is generic horror of. Oh wait, also I like this because we get like the full spoof of like even just like the ads of, which is always like, hey, you're this like twerpy looking nerd. How about you get swole and get buff? Like we've talked about for me, is you're gonna get me swole.
That's right.
But in this case, it's are you tired?
Yes.
Are you tired of being too swole?
Yeah.
So like
pills
to make you
deflatomix.
Exactly, yeah, to make you less hunky and swole. So
hey fellows, are you too large and vibrant? Why me? That's what I ask myself every day.
That's just Johnny in the comic corner every day before we hop on there. He's like, I'm just too
handsome,
too vibrant. Yeah. But the horror comic is
really cool.
Here's this red-eyed vagrant that is seen prowling these highways. Don't let him get into your car because he might kill you. He's just a lost soul, an evil spirit that kind of haunts the motorways. I hope nothing comes of that. I'm sure it was just a fun little side story and nothing else will follow.
Yeah, why else would they throw it in there?
I mean, to be fair, even if they didn't pay off that joke, it's still just a good little, hey, I like that. Because I was like, damn, that's actually a good story.
I figured you would like that.
Exactly.
I love this when the bullet bounced off his teeth, dude.
Yeah, maybe his helmet is invincible. Just aim for his face. They're getting attacked across the street by hitmen from the previous issue, like the Madmen from Chicago or whatever.
And they're led by the man-eating cow.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, they're attacked by the man-eating cow. He snuck up on them and ate the men. People just die, Johnny.
Happens a lot in here.
Yeah.
I really wish this was in color.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Oh, no, yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. This kind of reminded me of something Watchmen, like, but that's probably just because of the smiley face.
For me, I mean, I got more Casey Jones vibes in some way, just because like the mask and like just kind of like the running around, because like basically his shtick is he's kind of like anti superheroes in some way.
You're vigilante.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a vigilante hunter basically. But yeah, in this, and then the story arc for the next few issues is that they're trying to get to New York because Tick had like a vision of that it would be a great breakout for him, that there's a lot of need for superheroes.
I thought that was so creepy. The road map from 1959.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the happy 1950s family. What's wrong with that?
Nuclear family.
Exactly. But yeah, they're getting lost because the Tick is the navigator. They basically go all around the entire United States, like into Canada, into Mexico, without finding their way to New York. They spend some time on the road, see some sights. Arthur basically starts having a breakdown because of like it's been like a month or whatever. It's been multiple weeks and since they've left.
There we go. Nah, just like that. We finally get introduced to our dude here.
Exactly. Yeah, the chain. What is it? Chainsaw Maniac. What was his damn name? He's got a chainsaw in his basement.
Chainsaw Vigilante.
Chainsaw Vigilante. I was gonna say it's something very straightforward.
He's got the pin on there like fucking Watchmen. Oh, there it is. I just slipped.
Is it a smiley face?
It's upside down though.
Okay.
But yeah. But that doesn't mean it's.
I was gonna say that's also very Randall Flagg from The Stand. If you read Stephen King.
I do.
The Walking Man.
Not. Read Stephen King. I don't read anything unless it's got comic book pictures.
Yeah, issue 10, the Monolith one. So this one I liked because so as they're driving around, they go into a small town, the Tick and Arthur, if this is the, yeah, the vigilante kind of catches up on them. They kind of make short work of him, and surely we'll never see him again.
Nor will he get his own book.
No, he surely shouldn't. Yeah, they.
So why'd you like it? Humor?
Well, also, like, it was a story arc that I liked because it almost felt a little like Lovecraftian in that here is this small town that at some point, like, a monolith from space kind of fell down in, and for whatever reason, if you touch it or if you're near it, it starts giving you visions and makes you inspired and in some ways restless. So, like, this town is very technological. Like, they pull into, like, gas up their car, and the guys, like, they go up to the gas station and they're like, hey, man, fill her up, full tank, please. And just some kind of generic hillbilly's like, no, we have these gas pills that I made in a fever dream one night. They give you like 200 miles to the gallon per pill. So he's like, oh well, how did you figure that? It's like, oh, it's the monolith in the middle of town. So they have all these experiments that they wanted to try out, and now they have some live guinea pigs with the Tick and Arthur, but. I don't know, the idea of just a small town with like the mysteries like that and the monolith out of space.
It's like a it's like an episode of what was that show called?
Twilight Zone?
No. Yeah.
Outer Limits isn't wrong too. That's just basically another iteration of it. But I was just always a fan of stuff like that, of just the small town vibe. And this one like was again like almost like got into like a short kind of horror comic to some degree of just what's going on in this town and the mysteries that's happening, because they capture the Tick and they want to shoot him up with their laser beams. Although again, still not invincible.
Laser.
And Arthur was drugged and eventually touched the monolith, and he's become now like inspired with all these great ideas. But the Tick breaks free, finds out what's happening, and like breaks the monolith in half and tries to chuck it out into space. It doesn't really succeed, but he still threw it far enough away where he's like, that's good enough. That solves that.
And look who's back.
Exactly. And by then they're on to the next
Chainsaw Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is a quick read.
Yeah. I mean, again, like here we are at like issue 11 where they show up in New York, and it turns out the city is littered with heroes and villains. They're quite literally they were a big fish in a small pond, and now they're just another fish in the giant ocean, because like the entire city street is just littered with characters. This dude with like the Cyclops looking dude, I saw him, I'm like, man, I'd read a comic about him. That was just most of these characters of just like little like throw off one-liners. All we see is like their name or their costume or their quick gimmick of the god of aqueducts, what was his name, Agrippa, fighting off this space monster by making him like partially wet, because his ability is he controls the aqueducts, so he could like displace any amount of water anywhere on the world to wherever he wants it to be, which seems like could be a cool power, but also he just uses it
very pretty circumstantial.
Exactly, yeah, just like oops.
There's your Punisher ripoff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the like the Vigilantes table.
Yeah.
But wait, also just a quick throwaway bit. Wait, let me slide this up because the chat is in the way. Actually, if we could put that right there. Outside of like this nightclub that they go to, the Comic Club, which is where all the heroes meet up. Just in the corner, there's a dumpster where they're throwing away all the chairs because they're not a fan of a chair head. So it's like, it's basically like chairs are seen as like these visages of chair face. So I don't know.
Makes sense.
It was just a small like funny little like throwaway like visual gag that I was like, okay, that was cool.
No, I'm glad you noticed that.
We got the Sidekick Lounge, where they're all just basically like Robin knockoffs.
And Bucky Barnes,
luscious, like, what is it? It's like we all have like, we're like young boys whose like backstories involve like circuses and our parents dying, and we all just have like very pouty lips and like all right.
That's what sidekicks are.
The one thing that we forgot to mention too is they joke about the kind of underlying possible like homosexual relations between superheroes and sidekicks. Not only in this one, but also early on when the Tick is invited to Arthur's apartment. He's like, "Come on, Arthur. Like I'm a guy. You're a guy. You invited me to your apartment.
That's
Arthur,
right.
Arthur, you're not funny, are you?" He's like,
oh, I feel like that was in the cartoon. I'm not just.
It might have been, yeah. Because like it's just kind of like they're just like laughing and joking about the fact that in like in actual comics, it's usually seen as some underlying like homosexual agenda of like they're just kind of like leading those lives, but they just kind of joke about it in this one, which I thought was pretty good. And then,
that
like,
was. What do you take on that?
What?
I never like thought of it until someone like pointed out like, well, Robin might have or Batman might have the hots for Robin. And I was like, what?
maybe one day we'll talk about my boy Frederick Wortham. Have you ever heard of Seduction of the Innocent?
No.
It's funny that I'm wearing my Comics Code Authority pin because Frederick Wortham was this psychologist who his whole fire and brimstone crusade was against comics because he said that they were seduction of the innocent. That he was very much anti-EC comics and like early pre-code books because of either violence, sexuality, and he cites early Batman issues as like being a gateway to homosexuality because like here's the boy wonder, this underage boy like who's the ward of this older single man, and like what funny stuff that they could be getting up to there, like like he was anti-gay and like he was seeing that as a that comics were kind of like trying to subtly push kids towards that, and then like same with all the violence and sexuality in early like horror comics and pre-code comics. So it was later obviously refuted, and he was kind of seen as like not a crackpot, but like he was fighting against something that wasn't really there, or like but that also led to the creation of the Comics Code Authority, and so it brought upon the Silver Age of comics where like they had to follow these rules of like the good guy should always be doing good. There should be like no moral gray ground. He shouldn't do anything bad. What is it? It's like slightly like religious, like implications of like pro-Christian stuff. Like only heterosexual like relationships, stuff like that. Like all of these things that were like keys in like Silver Age comics were brought upon because of these Senate hearings with Frederick Wortham. But maybe one of these days we'll dip a little bit further into that, because that's one of the areas that I kind of like, is like all of the censorship and lack thereof in early comics. So because again, like I like pre-code horror comics, which
there's some racist shit in some early comics.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. Like it gets
like, it's uncomfortable
like,
sometimes.
Like that was honestly one of the things that that he brought about, or he would like cite in his studies too. Which like obviously there was like racism, sexism, all that stuff in early comics, but then like them trying to then wrap around and censor a lot of that stuff too. So his name is the Tick too.
Yeah, he ends up getting into a fight with another hero called the Tick, and probably a more realistic
Exactly, yeah.
Tick,
who's like later referred to as, or like referred to as like the brown Tick, because like his costume is brown, which is more Tick-like instead of the blue Tick that we know. But they encounter each other in this bar. They get into a fight. Blue Tick wins, and we find out that in like the code and law of superheroes, that they basically entered in this like this duel for like who gets the rights to the name, and since this knockoff Bruce Wayne Tick lost, he now loses all rights to all of the likenesses, all of his possessions, anything related to the Tick now belongs to the Tick. So this is what I thought was another kind of like clever and interesting storyline that's filled with a lot of very overt references to the brown Tick basically being Bruce Wayne. Yeah, he's got the Tick cave. All of the Tick technology that he gets out of this is pretty good. All these Brenda commercials I thought were another like just some good like one-offs and stuff like that, of like the eye paste of, hey, if your eyes aren't completely white, put this Brenda paste in your eyes and just start brushing. You'll be the whitest eyes in town.
It's some stupid ass shit.
Yeah, just some good like throwaway gags and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, overall, yeah, the Tick I think is solid. There's a lot of good ground that they cover in terms of just superhero parodying and just like making up good general bits in comics too. So
awesome splash page.
It is. It's not the pinup though either.
No. And we got the bonus issue 13. Because there's only supposed to be 12
Yeah, it was
issues.
issues 1 through 12 that they overtly show, and then a bonus issue that which is good, because I was like, when I read number 12, I was like legitimately like interested of like, oh wait, where's this gonna go?
But wait, did issue 13 come out way later, or did it come out right after? I can't remember.
I assumed it would have been.
Were there
Not that far
bonuses in this?
Yes. So at the end here, like these. So
Oh,
this one
yeah.
right, this one right here is like the one that was made like. If you
Oh
go a
yeah,
little
the in
further,
between, right?
Do they show it here? Oh, it's further. Yeah. So, where is it? Yeah. Fade to black. What is? I think they mentioned it here. How many years it's been? At least 25 years. So yeah, 25 years after they wrote the initial issue, they kind of like revisited it and like filled in some of the blanks, which is like a fun little one-off of, hey, remember? Yeah, like it says there, back in the Tick issue #1, page 19. Remember when he blacks out and wakes up in the tunnel? Here's what happens between then, and it's just like a fun little like side story of him getting kicked out of the Nighthawks restaurant. He becomes straight up Joan in the Whale. And eventually kind of finds his way into there's hobo police. That was a weird little bit that I liked. But yeah, he finds his way into the New York subway tunnel and, you know, wakes up exactly where we leave him. So
I love it.
again, just like a completely needless thing. That's just a good call out to one of their original issues. So but yeah,
I want to get some of the other.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, so that was the thing though, is I'd love to revisit these, and I'm sure we will at some point too, for a later Comics Corner. But Johnny, what would be the next one to do? Because so these ones were issues 1 through 12, with also 13, but then like we get
I'd have to look. I think there's.
yeah, because I don't. It's not like it's necessarily like a trade paperback volume 1, 2, 3, 4. Like they have like, here is the complete, you know, this storyline. Here is this storyline. These ones were the Edlund ones, which were the original issues. We've got the color classics. Yeah, Paul the Samurai.
Yeah.
What is it? Man Eating Cow.
Yeah, and Chainsaw Vigilante.
Mm-hmm. So we'd probably have to do our homework on to which one comes next, but
I think
yeah.
it might be Big Blue Destiny.
I was gonna say, I think
really
that
do
was-
think it's that
Mhm.
one.
But yeah,
The Tick. What are we reading next week?
so that's the good question. Anybody in the chat, if you're here right now and you have any suggestions for what Johnny and I should read next, otherwise we could throw in our 2 cents also.
I know what I want to read.
What's that? So we most recently did X-Men, the 2019 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you figuring about dipping back? I was gonna say we did a lot of Batman recently, so probably not necessarily something of that.
I was thinking maybe, what if we read Dawn of X1, or is that too soon?
Dawn of X1, just issue 1.
No,
Or
the trade
volume
paperback,
1?
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Which are you talking about the one that collects issues 1 of the 5 that came out?
Yes,
I think that'd be reasonable.
because I want to be on that train. I want to catch up for this X of Swords stuff.
Yeah, because right now we're only like 12 issues behind on all those. So. Yeah.
Wasn't my hip, but man, that was intense.
something. Chuck, if you're still here and if you got any suggestions,
Did you got any?
not offhand. Like I was thinking maybe some more indie stuff, just something kind of random, but or DC stuff. Ever since I brought in the Green Lantern here, I was thinking about doing something from my boy the Green Lantern, like maybe something like Blackest Night, but also there's a lot of issues to that. 'Cause it depends on what you want to do. Like that's
a couple of omnibuses
say,
for that dog.
That's a whole summer event.
Yeah.
And follow up stuff. So I was like, maybe some other stuff.
Like an issue or two or something. I don't know. You'd have to find a mini
Exactly,
or
yeah.
like a mini series.
Because then I was like deciding like, do I want like very early Green Lantern stuff? Do I want like later stuff? Do I want like introduction of like Kyle Rayner stuff? So I wasn't sure fully what I wanted to do. Charlie says Green Lantern. Johnny says Dawn of X. Give me 1 second to check something about the Green Lantern thing. See if we had what I was interested in.
What about Green Arrow?
Sure.
I don't know. People are saying there's this one series, Green Arrow and the Long Bowman.
Long Bowman. Yeah, that's one that I was actually always interested in too.
Well, I was paging. We had one of the issues. I was paging.
It'll happen
through it.
eventually, Charlie. Don't you worry.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, that's like the Green Arrow's like
Eventually.
beginnings into kind of more mature stuff. I'd be down for the Green Arrow Long Bowman. Let me check something real quick. If you want to hold the fort, maybe you could tease about something that might be happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, for anybody watching, whether it's now or later.
Sin City too. That's another good.
Oh, but what story? Whatever the first one is.
The Yellow Bastard.
Is that the first one?
I believe so.
If it,
Let me check.
We could do that. We could do that. Oh, my knee just popped. Got a lot of cracks and creaks going on here. So next Tuesday, according to this week's, sorry, got a lot going on here. According to this week's invoice, there is potentially some stuff coming in next week that comes in once a month that shows us a bunch of cool stuff that we could buy in the future. And we're going to go through it live. So if you didn't join us last time, you really missed out. We had a lot of fun. That was probably the most fun chat that we did, or stream that we did, in like, it might have been the most fun one. Not that I'm dissing any of the other ones. That one was just a blast. So we're going to do it again. We're going to do live, previews readings. It's the previews. I don't know why I'm hiding it. Yeah, we're probably going to do the previews reading next week. So I want people to come out for that. So we're going to have to market the hell out of this. I'm going to blow it up on our Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. And in the meantime, I wonder what the reading order of Sin City is. Let's find out. Order Sin City. The first story written was The Hard Goodbye, but is not the first story chronologically.
Which one is chronologically the first one?
The first section of The Yellow Bastard.
Interesting. So I was right, but
yeah,
not for the reason I thought. So we've got Yellow Bastard, or
we have this.
Similarly on the chroma scale, we've got the Longbow Hunters for Green Arrow. If you want to pop that one down, show it off.
Oh man.
Yeah, like that's the more kind of realistic. Spoilers. Jesus, there's a lot of blood there, Johnny. Or the one that I was leaning towards. If we're doing current stuff, the current rebranding of Green Lantern by Grant Morrison, I was interested in reading because it sounds like they were doing it like kind of more at its roots as being a space cop and the Green Lantern Corps, and like it was almost kind of like pulpy, like detective noir-y stuff, but also somewhat comedic from what I heard. Yeah, like also I really like the artwork. So how about this? So it's Green Lantern, Green Arrow, or Sin City.
We should do a poll on our thing and let people vote by tomorrow. We should do like a 24 or 48 hour poll. That's how we should start doing this.
Yeah.
It is. We should do that.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
and like put it on like our social media.
Discord?
Yeah.
Pastimes.net/social.
Because like,
sure, yeah.
We can find out by Friday. Like, you have to have your vote in by noon Friday or some shit like that.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say we could check with the Discord too, but God, honestly, I was leaning Green Lantern, but I might be leaning Green Arrow. Because also, let me, if I may tip the scales here, they talk about it because Mike Grell's critically acclaimed miniseries strips the Emerald Archer of his gimmicks and trick arrows. Instead, casts the aging Oliver Queen as the urban hunter in a concrete wilderness, patrolling the back alleys and rooftops of crime-ridden Seattle. Now, this is some stuff that we can get behind. Like, that's very much like everything that we've read so far.
Bro, I want to read that book, and I'm not even into Green Arrow. This will be the first thing outside of those few pages of frickin'...
Yeah, I did not see that coming of Seattle at the end there, but there's the old Space Needle.
Hey, you gotta get crazy, man.
They're all kind of hunters. Some hunt to survive, and some just like watching things die. Some hunt the hunters. Cucamonga, Seattle. That's a free one for you, Charlie. Yeah. So you're leaning Green Arrow, Charlie.
I can't believe we had this.
Charlie, you still on Team Sin City? And of course we have that. That one sounds like, again, like it is a kind of mainline story.
I didn't know that.
Charlie says.
Well, because the Omnibus just came out, and that's the only reason I'm like intrigued by it. Oh, we should. All right.
Omnibus of Green Arrow.
Yeah, this specifically the Long Bowman.
I thought there was only like it's like a 4-part miniseries. Takes place in Seattle, Charlie. How bad can it be? How about this, Charlie? We do Green Arrow this week. Next week we could do Sin City, and we'll figure out which one we should do for that. Whether we want to do because in the trade paperback order, what was it? A long goodbye, a hard goodbye. Die Hard, a good day to die. What was it called? The first issue, Johnny.
Oh, okay. There is an omnibus. collects Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters, 1987, 1 through 3, not even 4. And then Green Arrow, 1987 through 1998, 1 through 50.
Okay, yeah.
And a story from Secret Origins. But, okay, so I guess it goes into the reboot
it's
series.
like, in some ways, this is almost like the year one of Batman, of like, here's...
Well, yeah, this is right after Crisis,
the
then.
gratification.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah,
okay, so hold on, because Green Arrow, then... Oh, there's a 1983 4-part miniseries of Green Arrow. So maybe that's what you were thinking of.
No, I was thinking of this one, because we had... We might even still have. We had the single issues
We do.
of Longbow Hunter.
Yeah, and you know what? They also came in that box I got.
Okay, nice.
But 87 is his first full series too. Holy, so what the hell did he do before that?
Doing some live searching, but yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, we have this issue 1 over there too of the long running series.
Okay.
Damn.
The ongoing, yeah. But yeah, so Johnny, you down for Green Arrow Longbow Hunters?
Yeah, I'm down to check this out and see what the hell this dude's all about.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it's right up our alley. Of here is a gritty, realistic version of Green Arrow that, like they say, isn't just like, here's my net arrow.
Yeah, but what was he doing before this? Now I'm confused.
It might say here. Let me check.
Well, because he has the 1983 miniseries. Is that where he got created? Wasn't he like an older?
Yeah, no, yeah, Green Arrow is old. But I think you, like you said, this was like post.
Yeah, but even on here, it's not showing any older series like before that. Like nothing.
Interesting. Because Green Arrow used to be also featured in Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he. Oh, what
series called?
Yeah, was it like how like Captain America was in like Strange Tales before or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like they were kind of featured together. In fact, that they were usually like side by side. They were like psychic.
Yeah, that I remember.
That's the whole God, what was the yeah, issues 1 through 3. Charlie.
It's got the heroine.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have the dollar comic in that or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God, that iconic cover. They actually parodied the. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, no. They parodied that cover in here. But yeah, I think that sounds fair. That we'll do the issues 1 through 3 of Longbow Hunter this week, and then next week, Johnny, if we find what the hell one it is that you want to do for Sin City. That sound good?
I'm down on that.
Hell yeah.
I gotta figure out this Green Arrow shit now. I'm bothered by that.
Aren't we all?
Probably just me. I'm a fucking weirdo. Oh,
Yeah,
we got 2 in today. Look at that.
We got 2 of what in today?
Nothing. I didn't swear on the chat twice.
I was gonna say, yeah, there was multiple swears, Johnny. Jesus.
No, just 2 F-bombs. The rest don't count.
That's fair.
You could say it on broadcast television. You could say it in the chat.
Oh, you can't say it in the chat.
And the stream. I am very confused about the Green Arrow stuff. All right, we wrapping this up?
Yep, I think we're wrapping it up.
What are we doing?
All right. So we were doing
Green Arrow,
Moves,
Longbow Hunters by Mike
Tick.
Rowe.
Goodbye, Tick.
Don't
It was
knock
fun.
my phone
I
off.
was gonna say I'm ticking it up. I'm ticking it up.
Yeah, this artwork looks fantastic.
Painterly. Yeah, we're gonna do some longbow hunting in Seattle. So if you guys, thanks everybody for coming out. Next week, by next Wednesday, we will have due Green Arrow issues 1 through 3 of the Longbow Hunters. We do have more trade paperbacks of that in the store. I think we've been doing like a 20% discount if you're looking to pick it up as part of this week for the book club book. So come on by. We do also ship. You could message me at comics@pastimes.net if you have information at that. Otherwise, you could come by the store at any time and pick it up and let us know, hey, I'm reading this as part of the book club book, and we'll get you that discount. We'll talk, Charlie. Hopefully you like this one a little bit better. Speaking of Flashpoint, I had a Flash comic come in that I was going to show on a Tuesday stream. The cover was apparently not attached, and I'm like, I don't like this cover.
Oh, that's what you bought?
Yeah.
You told I didn't know
the
it
cover
was
was
Flash.
detached, so I'm going to try and get a better copy of that in before I show that off. But you might like that, Charlie, when that comes out. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. That'll probably do it for Johnny and I. We will see you guys next week on Tuesday. As Johnny kind of alluded to, we've got some big stuff to show you guys on Tuesday. It'll be very exciting.
Very excited.
Tuesday streams are always becoming a lot of fun with stuff like this. But until then, we will see you guys next week. And as always, remember, not all heroes wear capes.